94.7 Asempa FM Sony Ekosiisen dwumadi no asugu so awutie no ma yenam wase ne mamu nyina akwaba se matwen yen amayakọ asanso aba medin dio say bonso from you be said the kind of two my name no the honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo or a former national chairman. Hey, me refill where they facha me. Where was Anka ya artwork require the sheso. Will be a PhD dia enye easy. In the Dr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo abeka yensa PhD papa doc akwaba na apom te saying
ami adom ene mo pai bonti ma me na wase
yes
na minchia watiefo MC bi so hwo ene wa hwo
pa
na onso mi nika mo abaso
medase
in the heat of campaign nti emu bi nom and me am throw amo abaso and I think that we're all very proud of your achievements in spite of niawoye na odi adusua kama adusua de enye easy from the who say adult learning akasa de ya na na omahin me ba ya di nkunimu ambe hu so wa shefiti otie na bisa se ono nkunim die no ye di no jina na be hu na ono di ka kwasha white crama appointment wo ha say na asempa so em say mudi asempa no so enyum bia o te sa adwum no asempa na
asempa na bo one of the hit songs. 24-hour economy.
Asempa kampa. Yeah. Win this election.
Yeah.
Enti mamena yenua nasi. I mean he's
very talented.
Talented musician.
Yeah.
Well, I born homode. We share my dear wedding and you more to try any idea na. Like I said, idea what you about no be pa was say about abaso.
Sure.
And all the other musicians almost so.
Sure.
I do
sure.
A bar for it at the bois. You do my dear. Enti Ghana Tenny Green.
The whole Ghana
Tenny Green. Of Ghana must play green.
Yeah.
Eastern region cry kakakre bia. They say Eastern region is bluish green.
Sir?
Yeah, because 47
and 51 point something.
Yeah, I know Kakabia. Enti sa osha na green no, it's in shada nye green. It's in your bluish green.
Bluish green.
For the first time I think that.
Yeah.
Let me move on. Kakakrebi anka chempe.
About Eastern region. But with all we experience, no, way this magnitude, one expected.
Not minimum say a winning election, but I think some constituencies are a winning. Perhaps I was overwhelmed by the verdict. And no minimum pa say be I believe in polls, now believe in scientific idea. So far very credible posters. Now far economic intelligence they don't get it wrong. Economic intelligence they don't get it wrong. Offer most of the severe CDD or share a friend is saying
global info analytics
analytics or starting a number for AD home but me I thought say I met him at a program one day when I trust and I'm a bizarre and simple and I'm who say he is adopting the best scientific tools of research. If you get it right, now we put to the scientific tools, you get the outcome right. Until me share the methodology, and I'm here saying, I'm here saying, oh my ye, baby, oh my ye personal a year free. Now, one mama professionalism, now I thought that my opponent should have taken him more serious than the kind of a year or more no pay will be able to count on near so there or ye lotto kiosk forecasting on the day now. Majority said today if there is one person who stands shoulder higher, Musa Dankwa. And it is good for us as a country. Because for the first time we are now believing say there is something called pools. People will then pay attention to it because so we call American money there a push, not a big business, a big deal.
Yeah.
Because of the state funding of political parties, you know, one more political consultants. You train them. Want to be consultancy, and a lot of technical people. I want to take this push among into presidential candidate biane, senator biane, House of Representatives are guided by what the pools are saying.
Yes.
In terms of messaging, in terms of resources, in terms of logistics. Me, I had opportunity me call na me ntia me go US no. Me padisua kakra nti me ti na me ho yera me say me ti ba bi 1 year na me ti me nya hwe. Nti me scan it through a year na me pay bi kakra na me ti me update me knowledge about elections management. Nti me nya program bi wo a friend saying University of Virginia.
Okay.
And me share and I'm sure say everything about me apply. I did a full 5-month semester course.
Oh, okay.
On election
management.
I understand what these pools are, understand what they mean, understand how to develop certain things. Now, I not grown watch it. Until me also know I can smell victory when it is coming. Because you have indicators you have what to say, you know. And I am not surprised at the outcome of this election because it also took a long time of planning. Right from 2016, and they established a prosecuted committee.
Yes.
And I'm call around a year interaction say and I'm done report, very voluminous report at Beto. And that report from key recommendations. I am finding until we started working on it. Like I said, maybe a chairman, we also continue working with the recommendation of the Contributory Committee. Some of the interventions I did. One of the Contributory Committee was, you say, NDC was not very appealing to the middle class, the top echelon, intellectual community. It is not by accident. Say you introduce you. Pro forum. Okay.
Professionals forum.
Yeah, we introduce you, for instance, the intellectual group, progressive intellectuals.
Oh, okay.
Various universities, you know. And then the NDC Lawyers Association at the buyer because one of the things and I you who cry and say, now Sip said lawyer maybe I am MPP. The uncle for cry emergency Jama NDC you can
lawyer.
Until we took our time to invite people, and then the last time me knew call some meeting Aqua Safari, a lawyers meeting. There were 350 lawyers.
And quite your meeting.
And we are talking about top-notch lawyers. In person, everybody, but maker, I would do it for my own. I mean, at a point in time. Year engagement before the 2020 elections and the Costa Ghana Bar Association. You know, who started saying engagement of civil society and other professional groups. You call Ghana Bar Association where no meeting. We had about 4 attorney generals. Oh, your team now, President Mahama no. At least we had Madam Betty Modrish, we had Marietta, and then who again? Mr. Dr. Ayini was a deputy, and there's another person. I say, I'm senior members of the bar. I told you from Kwabemi and San 9. It's either I'm say what the money lawyer say. You know, so we started mending fences. You know, trying to work with these professional groups. You see, it's a long process. If you do proper planning, if you stay the course, if you are focused, the results will come.
Into you are saying, sir, result are you in 2024, no? A result of strategic decisions I'm taking over the last 8 years.
A year, short, medium, long term strategy, which has given us this. So about 8 years of planning consistently, even when we lost 2020, no, I'm here. Me make you lose 2020 election, you free court for no you pay. In fact, the very next week near Oku, near a strategic meeting to review the election at the national level. What no your day council of elders, your day leadership in parliament, your day all the directors of the party, communication, legal, election directorate, you call a thorough review, and then soul searching and be truthful to ourselves as to where we should go. And from that time, so we went again through regional reviews. Constituency review. I mean, the first time that you saw constituencies coming and being interrogated, the figures were interrogating the figures. Because
constituency before a
region, more account of what
happened in the constituency,
yes, and the complete narrative, and then we synthesize this into a measure and then for this year, for the first time, who said polling stations on university campuses, and you call UCC, Oko University of Ghana, the NDC won, if not all, majority of polling stations. And you fluke, and you idea happen, keke. No. You see, I was national organizer of the party from 2002. Every lose to 2000 election.
Yes.
And 2001, a year reorganization committee, and I became a member of the reorganization committee. It culminated into 2002 a National Congress, La Trade Fair.
Yes.
So time now you starting, now Haruna Drishu, a free nooks. Now you started. NDC was very unpopular, unknown, unwanted at the universities. But it took the effort of people like Haruna Drishu, Baba Jabman, Evisa Free Anka, then Francis Siam, later,
Francis,
Obey Dande, the teacher, and a lot of work was done on the university campuses. So see, Aquama and your students in Kwao, but has also affected even the lecturers, the top echelon of the university. Lecturers for NDC. PhD holder professors and others at the various campuses, not only in Lagos but go to University of Cape Coast and Kamiko University of Science and Technology, but Bia. A concerted effort at aiming at rebranding
the party
and making the party an attractive. For me, going into the 2024 election, then this was the most attractive brand, whether you like it or not. And this was the most attractive brand. And then we cap it all with leadership that was also very attractive. And the John Mahama brand was a very attractive brand. We say, I feel a primary senior did or 90-something%, and he was able to carry the party along. And then Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, National Executive, every pay courtesy call on the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I happened to be at the meeting. Asam Bakwa, I saw for the Bikaye, and they say, President Mahama, kind of fast one, will unite all the forces within the NDC, and the prosecute too, sir.
Campaign
winning. More than said, that same spirit, a bit transcended into the national political arena. They are building more united Ghana, because they say the tax that is facing this country, it's not a tax that is facing only NDC. Sahaba 2 years, Ghana for Nanakasayo, and they spoke loudly. Na I was watching TV3, and it was showing President Mahama and the family. Juxtapose them on one side, and then the Electoral Commissioner on one side. And I saw a candidate, Mahama, who was in very pensive mood, even when the results was called. The weight of the demand that this decisive
victory
has. If there is any person that I don't envy in this country now, it's a John Dramani Mahama. But I take consolation in the fact that you could see, sir, this is somebody whose passion and desire to see Ghana reset and moving Ghana to where we are now, knows no bound. We know what I for. What I for say. Opportunity here when you know, and then depending on the opportunity. Coming back, becoming a president, going and then getting the mandate of the people again, and yet a rare opportunity. No, the mandate, no, it is even more profound because of the magnitude of the victory. No. For them. Yeah. So, catch us off on say, led by Miami Chairman, Apostle Eric, and Reverend Gordon Kised, Reverend Apostle Amina, Apostolate, and Assemblies of God. Friends,
Steve Wengam,
and Christ Apostolate. I mean, all of them were there. Reverend Anyanibodou, third generation, and I say, what he wants to leave to Ghana, a legacy. He knows he has 4 years. So 4 years from the only thing about me, I am a Ghana, and they say, Obe building a stronger Ghana, no legacy. My younger generation, take care of Ghana. And you could see somebody who knows his job is well cut out for him. Again, let me also put this on record. I've never seen NDC very prepared for the governance phase
than this time.
Sir, I can assure you, the kind of preparation, the kind of policy reviews, the kind of assemblage of high quality human capacity who was at the disposal of President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, and the kind of work that they put in. So here a manifesto now. This manifesto was a manifesto that took a long time. It was built upon the People's Manifesto.
People's Manifesto 2020 day.
But it went through review upon review upon review, and then to look at actionable plans, what is achievable, what is not achievable. I mean, subject ourselves to a lot of intellectual rigor, discussion to know. You know, many me say, this manifesto is a workable manifesto. Out of that manifesto, no, you have extracted what you want to achieve in the first 120 days. And then the policy priorities. Oh, person what you need to now. Enti, Madagana Fosi. Now, Maka say, victory, you know, there is a certain hand of God in this victory.
Victory way.
Yes, the God factor. You cannot discount the God factor in this NDC victory because Empire forces are all for
yeah.
But we be say, other na MPP for Nyame who I met me I say Ebene I came on for na but pa any preparation you see nam debia me was simply say when preparation meets opportunity there is always success. And if you prepare well and opportunity comes up, then you are in for success. And John Mahama Nankasa is a historian, but he's not writing the history. People are writing the history for him. The kind of the first president, the first person, or a vice president, or Kwejumanopa as vice president, or Banyumre as a president. But somebody will be here. You're talking about here now, Olusu by a whooping 1 million votes. And people wrote him off. Says, I'll vote with you. Come back. It's almost impossible. Now, I'm man of Bamambo. Now, I hear Juma over the years. Now, 2020, in Yamanko year, now still I determined. Now, Babenya, one of the most decisive victories in terms of percentage and in terms of the absolute numbers. We are talking about 1.6 million plus and counting.
Difference
56% plus. I'm so beautiful in Yabrosa, John Rollins, I think in 1992.
Yes.
And you know, he has set records again. I feel we parliament in Swa. Or no, now your first president under the Fourth Republic. We in 1992 MPP for boycott election. Now, Bababenya to test majority in parliament. Was I setting another first as the first president of Fa Oba as running mate. And then no, Nana Professor Nana Opukwadima I saw breaking another glass ceiling. Abaye the first
female vice
president elect. In fact, say a best friend, but female vice president elect. John said it is all about history making. Now, me just say that Hopona, Adujo Mahama could say will not leave him in the middle of, but he will bring him to an unexpected end. But Chairman, sir,
and because of our experience, there are certain things that happen in politics because we the outlier. Adiaba could be a chemo. This victory of the NDC, any outlier, any one of those idea where the entire Siba could be and sign in CBU.
Adebi ba Omaruma Seheni. Ghanaians' political consciousness, Ekosiisen. And I can say it's thanks to a very vibrant media. And look at how people are now exposed to a lot of opportunities for them to sift through. No matter me making choices. First of all, NDC should rather be humbled by this resource. Well, it should humbled by this resource. It should be humbled by this resource. Ghana afford this side to make a seaway. We shouldn't take it for granted. Ghana 4%. Honestly, I was speaking to somebody and say, if this regime fails, democracy has failed. Because according to people had almost lost hope in democracy. What they hear all the Afro Barometer, share Mo Ibrahim Foundation, research on good governance. Share where our judiciary is failing. Share where the presidency. Now if you call share a friend say share Afro Barometer. Now share baby Ghana for confidence level even in the presidency, and the fact that about 80% plus Ghanaians felt that the country is moving
in the wrong direction.
In addition to that, even the governance institutions, the level of trust in the police, for the first time, the level of trust even in the Electoral Commission dropped from about 68% to about 28% or thereabouts. I stand for correction, but I think that is about it. Then you have a challenge. Over 40% of Ghanaians were living under multi-dimensional poverty. Unemployment has moved from 8
to 14.
8 to 14. Indicators na afeu Francophone na no makasa. Then you realize that people were losing confidence in democratic government. To the extent that in one of the CDD research work, some of the youth were calling for military intervention. It is the truth. It is our opportunity. Any opportunity be as a redeem as a democratic country. The democracy almost a beacon in the sub-region, a beacon of hope, a beacon of peace and good governance. I was saying it means seizing this opportunity. Now as Ghanaians, say we need to move this country forward. And also useful lesson for people who are entrusted with the mandate of the people. How do you manage the mandate of the people to govern? Because so to make sure and say a battle by force. You go to Ashanti region and you go to Kwabri East. Kwabri East, say fraud of today. Ashanti region. On vote to buy boom. You can see a kwanya na so mo kwanya na se mo nto abamamia about by force. Don't take the people for granted. A Kunfi Foba, a president at Miakacho and said, Moment, the MP by someone to Abaman, until Madame Machiachram, said development there, but Bomb Senna Johnson about Wakoko. You go to voter region, and you tell the people of Volta region, say, independent form or near Tom and someone who may be on form and to in here what they are looking for intervention from government, not President Kwakacho so moment to Abama. So Bibia and Hakame someone to Abama begin to the mother. You say all these things. You have a country where a software to rule Islamic clerics, any civil society, members of parliament, religious bodies, a human friend say LGBT.
Yeah, proper family values.
Proper human values are. Yeah, they are bad. Then you could you now can have mass collation. You can't even why is that way now the about to say mremfa mramra. You de kwa. No, you did legal gymnastic. Yeah, the mrana call local baby say. Yeah, sign. Yeah, sign ya. Baby, I call no so no. Court no so frasem no cry. A better baby we are sana. You see, you are toying with the people. Obi, for the first time, the Catholic bishops in this country embark upon a demonstration. And the politicians, so Catholic bishops, supported by the Catholic Church, for embarking on a peaceful demonstration to demonstrate against the pollution and illegal mining in this country. Oh yeah, labor agitation. Yeah, smart. Into you better for conversation. You better convince labor for say. Na the Nansani so Ekosiisen chamfa by ya bienu anam yansani awi. Na we betwem na brim ene pra ene ankobra. That so you polluted. So when you have such situations, don't think that Ghana for sabi omo da omo hoti entusumi so. And so I saw the warning signs very, very clear, say, where they were taking the good people of this country for granted. And the president felt, say, or you're smart, Rambo style, or judiciary. Now, look, can you believe that the president was making appointment on the eve of the election?
On the eve of this election?
I can't tell you were to abandon my appointment.
Of wine?
Oh, one Kwakwabi said, then, them said, no, a former Ashanti regional. I don't know the one of the stating producers
oh, sir.
One Kwakwabi, James Kwakwa.
Dennis Kwakwa. Ashanti region.
Yes. I'm on appointment 2 days or there about to.
Oh, really? I don't mean the moon check.
Oh, check it. Me are some American piano. Some event in my bomb to it shows a president who felt to say, or no, at me a simple. I catch a gun of wood and say, President or hand over mammy, I'm a bedi not dear. Min Trassi, and my main fa, I did you know some question, sir. No, Gina, Napo inauguration, I say, I say, Masuda. He used the word Masuda. President Nangazo, I say, Masu. You have a minister of state, a year, Brian Champon, 8 weeks, General Casse. One more hand over my and one hand over your pioneer worship. Minister or no investment. Why ye no? Say Ghana Edani Butua. About Cassin me for some of my meaning investment. Be a Miss Nopa became kidding me fish meet me open baby. You have a director of operation at the presidency, Lord Coming. We have another Lord Coming. The first time me cook said, me I'm not afraid. I'm the Lord. Upana okasase o se tumi no me mfa ma wo ne me mfa ma wo tina me de nya break the kra na make am say me mfa tumi mo. These are all statements that are on records to have been made by members of the executive arm of government. It is always hard way na never think say Ghana for echo at the time you wa ho oh, who could jump a bit of show and me say the size of kinky and bread can determine who rules this country. Take it for granted. The size of kinky, me go for dokun 5 CDs. Pa me share ye. Na me share sa dokun 5 CDs. My ha me boom me no me timi amene. I'm telling you, me free Paul and I me do Paul. Almost the conversation can force a friend at Boy and a white kinky. And I'm on driver too. Me, I am a penny.
Yeah.
And I remember doing them so. Me and I something tiny down as you to know. What if I'm quite busy on a father corner? I say, boss, the home back home soon. I'm so. Ade, oh, yeah, they're no buyer. Me, I'm shame. Obi, the reality is that I want to buy on my mama. A DDA abedane formula. Formula, to say football. Minim so support, minim team I support.
Kotoko.
I support Kotoko. I don't win until I was support. Now, coaches, Kobo Bola. Come with a 4-3-3 formation, 4-2-4 formation. This year 4-4-2 formation. A DDA is abedane formula. I just say what transit say coach, not define a formula will be used. A bin will use 001. 001, they say, I'm not power DD, a view DD, and you may Odidia, no, Hoda, Obi also another and cutting kitty betcha me there. May they need now box so I could say you may do. A bin so say, may yellow 010, and upon me, a real may be heavy. Now, may there a former Cosiana dream of Hakoda. And the bin so yeah, I feel dear. Yekoye survey bia formula for France abeka ho as our formula is 000
ebi ndidi kra
yes about 8.4 million Ghanaians go hungry a day awumudi Obi asema ahometi you 8.4 million Ghanaians go hungry a day awumudi yakoda omoyem pan no de akoda. It was a research. And that research was verifiable. We can go back and check for it. It is always how they win in a course. Now, Obi, Abaya or say my baye planting for food and jobs. No, come back. Abaya say my baye one dam, one village, one dam. Now, ye just soon find regati. You not buy that or come back in the virtually food growing areas, food baskets and what. Abaya Obabeji no say me babe one of the major agricultural interventions in northern part of the country. It must spend about $12 million to do the Palugu Dam. Now bekono na Palugu Dam no baka to say trips and remember trips bensia and the blocks kakra bi go. There's nothing to show. And the people in that area are dying of hunger. It told us our policies now ba fe de wo kokra bro if you brochia ba ansa na nipa timi anya aduane adi. And the poultry farms in there good because nipa anya bro ni bi ni de bi akwa feed am komo. It is a who say and then kosua no de ade e flood the market. Do you know where it's coming from? It's coming from the Doma area. And the reason is that Doma area no, they are on the Cote d'Ivoire border. Cote d'Ivoire for also factors of production near low. Enti omo cross ho no makwa to feed the no money enema na no de abantino they are able to break even and then make some profit apart from that poultry farms are what down south hand if I can see there go me a member of the Ghana Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association and I know what I'm talking about. Enti that is the reality that we were facing. Enti say nessa what trans now say all these interventions na now, Obi, the worst part of it, and I am happy say, Nyame Adam and NDC for Adam Intino. My new opportunity are several in several capacities. I'm a co on my way. If we are talking about somebody who knows this country in and out, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
As a local government minister, as national organizer of the party for 9 years, me call 3 elections, me call Ghana as a director of elections. As a vice chairman, as chairman, meaning gun I know in and out of this country. You know something that struck me in this campaign? In Su and Nipano. Almost all the 8 regions are many Professor Jena no Pokwajima, vice president elect, a campaign. Almost invariably, the recurring theme in the speech is that nanom ahem for new opinion leaders in say no. Water has become a scarce commodity across Volta region, Northeast, Savannah, Northern region, Upper West region, Central region, Oti region. Baby, a call ye be a baby of a copy, and you say, in so cry a pan we have been. These were issues. Then you have people who were coming and say, yeah, now can I find something? I find the income crowd. I find the baby a befabi, a papa beado. Me say to me, Yama, in foot no Bama, Kai do when you one man hazard light, you know, what the back of him.
But Chairman, the truth of the matter.
Now you then have people who will come and say, I cost to 12,000 kilometers of roads. And to me, I was very curious. I mean, at least say, no, my developer a certain scientific inquiry mind, you know. Me ya there now. Me ya no
verify.
No, my ya no intellectual across at the so. Me quite 12,000. And I'm Google here say the distance between Hanu US 11,008 kilometers. The distance between Accra and New York 11,008 kilometers. It is always our play more eco speed. Now with the 9 to 10 hours I could do. 9 people for some more construct to 12,000 kilometers. It may call them better minya sample. I may call Baumia Hall numbers may call Northeast. Now has at least and you charity begins at to make say 12,000 in one and a war a year Northeast. Win the only good road you can see in Northeast. I say we free tamale, Ekosu Walwale. The run Northeast. And now free Walwale, Eba Narugu Gambaga. Ube do Gambaga now couldn't now track a crab now cook Bumpuruguni yo now try to foot road more. As soon as
foot road. But I think maybe you also misconstrued 12,000. Well, the ministry did break down, you know. Then third roads in 12,000. Because highways, urban, your friend is saying, rural one, saying
feeder roads.
Feeder roads.
Feeder roads, urban roads. Volta region, number has a sugar copy, coins not educo a flower, no being papa. And of sugar copy, after the dome at the basic who are and obeying papa. Yakofa, Okuja to constituency from North Town, ABC South Town. If you South Town, Ekosiisen, Angro, Fiangro, Edbesi Central.
Central Town. Afajato.
And your father took to make that enclave now call a friend Ketu.
Okay.
Ketu North, what do we see a friend say, be a honorable a here for? Do I who constituency? I catch North.
Yeah.
Come back, now you're free what no money free who. Free ho kakra bi na fa ho we so na de furam kakra na kofata bia venum na o fra ho kakra na de be si eye ba bia o mo ekwa ba bia ndo na de wuram futuro sa ansa na de o be pie paki kwa no wura paki kwa na tra paki eye sa eastern corridor na wura south the firm of consultant in kwade say
Die.
South die.
Yes.
Near the Roma, Cosi, about to us, no money. Hey! No, I heard Germany. And of course, Germany, hot money out there. So, what do you have to
Honorable said the truth of the matter, so they say, by the 7th of January, na NPP cumulatively in 16 years in the Fourth Republic. NDC already more than 16 years in the Fourth Republic. Why are you reducing the problems of this country to the last 8 years? I didn't hear. Because that's not a fair analysis.
Analysis of Nana Akufo-Addo Abanya about contest election based on their records. And I may review on records. I'm not reviewing. I am not reviewing John Rawlings 1992.
Okay.
Because me review Abani Abatu and Nana Akufo-Addo 8 years records. And the court about this. That is what I'm reviewing now, and I'm saying, say, Niama Mokaye,
so on bay,
and then the American McCoy, I'm doing Nico Share, and I may a month for Chesse Winum, and I'm Kuhu, because you see, Nana Akufo-Addo,
yes,
Ekoye, one of the friends, biggest debtors, Yendi, to cut the sword for the Yendi water project. Big, I am for when you know about Kasiapa. 80 minutes me call Tamale, yeah, call Yendi no. And I'm saying that we mean first for to make because I'm going a taste of
the endings, you know.
We could do it, the pay so as in so.
I don't mind your project.
I'm not good for a year by year, your dear him for or therapy. It has never seen the light of day. So, Obi, no one will be aware. Then you ask yourself, say, it's either propaganda na say amamo ni ebuana because you can find him free e bodwa kese e can say this is one of the biggest investment awoye e dey more now the people in Dagbon the yendi and it environment so anya nso papa anom ma anya nso anom o yendi ba bia me ko nya nso no mo ye no sa kro no me nka kro na say e ho na sa musician yi musician onya Grammy Award reggae musician
Rocky Downey
crew and I'm quite so by 2 weeks ago and President Mama and parliamentary candidate by small water project you know I'm mechanizing for a hospital people no I'm mechanizing and so soon I'm going no way your mama is I'm calling you and yes I can with the for the switch I guess oh you see yes but you see it's a very serious matter the teacher make me review when we now say I am a student of governance and I think that we must take the issue of governance very seriously because you see yes politics last one or say who gets what when and how. And one author discussed it is the authoritative allocation of national resources. It is the more part. You are given the authority over all national resources and how you allocate those resources to the benefit to the public good. And then your political good to the public good. What are we doing for the public good? My passion is for the public good. And then you bet me a na young crop for a man for Ghana for what home. Not in near ma. I mean, you bet me I redirected the scarce resource into the productive sectors of the economy. Now I created job opportunities in a microphone. I mean, can you believe that $58 million has been used to sink the most expensive hole in Africa? Can you believe it? How do you even justify this? $58 million. I know your whole don't go. Me say
payment for architectural design. That's annual money.
I don't know come, and I called some Jamfi around that time. And because some Jamfi say some went to for drone and found encocha sa judges not dying because I saw those judges in the Bangladesh and say, "Hey, you're for." Some of the judges even resign. If you check your record, you see some of them resign. Your friend is a passport office. Passport office is one of the greater Accra regional ministers who residents ever. And embassies are who and money are there. Do you know the if you want to calculate the cost of demolition and the assets are yes sir no it is nowhere near the $58 million that we are talking about. And today there's nothing to show. It because the God factor no so who say we do that Ghana for na Nyankopon hata soro de men na ada no bia na nyame na omo ne no edele no enye ye Nyankopon na yenim na po Nyankopon no because na po Nyankopon no ono oda ye Nyankopon na eso no de ontonko na ona ba chairman ma me musa this question ban sana no Dennis Kwakwa position the executive secretary for Council of Indigenous Business Association. Yeah, SIBA. As executive secretary. Okay, Ghana Web story baby, and then I would let our listeners know when the story was made. Ekosiisen is higher I think the week 0.7 FM. The week before the election. Yes. Let me get the actual date. This story dated 3rd December 2024. And I think 4 days to elections and appointment by President Nana Akufo-Addo has appointed Mr. Dennis Kwakwa as the Executive Secretary to the Council of Indigenous Business Associations. This appointment is a significant move to promote and support indigenous businesses when we are almost at the injury time, injury time of the you know, never say bad. Not just I'm not one who say the presidency, were not sensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. Either say they were not listening to security report and intelligence reports because the president, he's the commander in chief.
Yes.
Every day be on your
intelligence briefing.
That intelligence briefing, every NIB. National Investigation Bureau, it be free police, it be free all the other security. You wouldn't say intelligence unit of the military.
Yes.
Military intelligence.
Defense intelligence.
Defense intelligence. How was he sensitizing the report there? Because who years her appointment here? Let's just say.
Yeah, but sana the mandate Ghana for the man, and so
but you see, good.
And Sisi Akwa be sending me the appointment letter, because it's dated 29th November 2024.
You see, I can't good governance. Good governance, let's say, or share what we call best practices.
Yes.
In assuming so would say, oh, GDA pass, what by being winner. Dr. Bamiaba, won't mean your appointment on your behalf. That's the question that I'm at the time that your people were in the trenches working, and everybody Satam no now reform Siba. Satam no could see the end of this election. Couldn't you have left it for? Then you ended up with some other, a friend say, partly completed projects. Commission on left, right, and center. Until GDA pass Dr. Mahmoud Bamiaba win election. Until we just have projects if man also the honeymoon period no cry no
or the
commission be until then you have a situation that flower pot here never home flower pot I heard them for come fee Gifford Road there President Mama ye and or the flower pot no interchange come and almost 6 columns there doing see what's out for 8 years. The 8 year, you will quite years and also because commission. Commission cry, commission skirt and blouse because you really half and half is you know the motorway side of the you and at the friend say Sprinters Road half no and the Hannah there about do what you say commission because you decided to leave this project hanging for years under the guise of see a room investigation. Yes. Oh there me say because me the me sir campaign virtual commissioning of so many hospital projects.
Agenda 111 hospitals. Now, me and Sai already are commission, but he was physically present at one traded, and at the 2 others. I think Ahanta West there and one other district, Omoye commissioning virtually into the regional ministers were there to commission them on his behalf.
We are lawyer. We are lawyer. Say, my promise is within 18 months.
Yes.
We see 110 hospitals. Now 18 months in the them say be a 4 years credo. Now say a market. Now ye 3 over 110 and patrol markets and the another person and feel.
No, so we share 3 over 111.
Why now come in?
Oh yeah, 3 no my commission.
Na commission no commission. Buildings are not commissioning hospital.
No, the one what we saw traded the equipment in have been fixed. As to say CC or start here Juma different, but the equipment
which make commission building.
Oh sure.
And which make commission hospital.
Sure.
You can see your commission hospital now. Oko University of Ghana Medical Center, Oko Ridge, there's a hospital near state of the art equipment, and MRIs, and all the equipment, X-ray equipment, so call renal unit, but you have a business a real hospital. I commission here will be room and now no who you bet imagine it is a Bahu or why. Na ewumu there me dem ahu
yeah traded the end there now oma fixing here I don't know about a Hunter West there at least I saw traded there yeah
see it also shows a president who was sleeping on his job.
Really?
Yeah, because you see one of the things I was say every project be your project cycle your project no obey assessive project time ben am started time ben am we into oye ni nyina we answer na beba me magana for say me yes how do we see no then you have to put some pressure on people to ensure say because you see at the back one
but you not give them credit for embarking on probably the most ambitious health infrastructure drive in the history of our country. I mean 111 hospitals at different stages of complete. That's massive. At least I was all born my basso.
But we are ambitious now. At the end of the day, no, we achieve nothing out of it.
Oh, but it's work in progress.
I would have thought, say, if Nana Akufo-Addo had concentrated, Sikakakra now the started signing, you know, the 20 hospitals. I will be a commission. Ghana foot me come kwaja yarasa eba. I was saying me shebo, but me share country resources now. I decided to do it in phases. Na mawie na enipa me age akwa kwaja yarasa out of 101 111 but me awie 20. They say ukwa 20 no be at me. So if you do the calculation well, we say spreading thin and achieving nothing. If you had rather concentrated the resources, no, at the beer, it will be more of an enduring legacy. Said, this is what I completed during my time in office. So say, you know the challenges that we are going to have. I don't think that President Mahama has said, say, oh, may yet say, Oba be abandoned.
No, our promises will be completed the
abandoned projects. But wouldn't you feel, say, so the next for to me, 15, 20 of them was cannot and now on year work in progress. Into this is the first phase, this is the second phase. Yeah, hand over to say the handover here you also make us see agenda 111. But me share the resource envelope.
Yes.
Maybe to me I'm Maria 20, to Maria 20. But material just site no I didn't now hunting I buy also bar. Also be not be a Mama buy so buy maybe 4 years no so to be another 20. It is subsequent government bar. Oh, you know, when you do that.
No, but that, I get the feeling, say, your understanding is apart from Agenda 111 hospitals, no? Nanado Abinin C hospitals for BIBO. Because they've shown evidence that they've built over 20 other hospitals, which are not part of Agenda 111 hospitals. If they tell you Achiansi Hospital, Bogoso, Elubo, Swami Government Hospital, Sabronum, all of those hospitals have been completed. Amam Fokum.
You know, we are analyzing 111.
Okay, that's fine. That's
fine.
fine.
Government spokesperson.
Okay.
Until more one is on Baba Kanda. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just analyzing.
But at least all call around and the vice. Only running mate a campaign. My hospitals. Hey.
Oh, I'm being very honest. So my catch baby I'm calling.
Oh yeah, waka.
Baby I'm calling and say be obi say oh Uba voter region. Mo call a friend say who is a call a friend say South Town. A call honey at the oh at the moment we say we were high. I think one place I mean who say one more year agenda 111 ne bi wo ho. Between Bumpurugu ni Yonyo hobe.
Oh okay.
Yonyo. I think Bumpurugu Agasa and I'm who say Bibisa as a project baby. And I'm saying,
agenda 111.
How dare because I'm
now, boy.
Minimum, sir. Oh, here, me fancy for her young one. Osino.
Omo
soon as Omo Yebi.
Okay.
Almost me, we are no Biano Mammy and Camper because a baby feet. See me, I can beat me up for home.
And we are Fantia South.
Fantia South.
So, no, NDC, I just asked it, no. And then they went to me.
Fantia North. And now NDC Agina, Minty.
Another way.
Ever no so. Said the Baba election as I'm no so. Because our some baby see or high, because Guinness Books of Records.
I been see
that Guinness Books of Records, Books as they say, no, obit me to about police station, they are bank line never be declared. Me be that.
Oh, no, say sanity.
No, me be that, Mr. Sanity, me be that so be a ba. Na yaba sesi na atu aba ena kwa meti so obi kura so obi de be free Boboasi East afa de obi a etena se obi kura watena se atu aba wie a parliamentary candidate sitting MP ono kasa jetu so wa lusu no sign o ho no sign yo no sign obi amfatu etinu so no sign afa de okotena se no obi aka say co manufacture pink sheet bi na aka say pink sheet bi oba bi e de brinti me de banam de ba challenge ni aka say oh fabra ye ba sa hwehwem bio look menti bi da Dr. Kojo Farijan.
Yes.
A hotel baby wakwatia. And a dispute bar about 6 polling stations. Do you know what Afarijan did? Afarijan descended from Accra. And a bar Eastern region of Kwakwatia. And of course supervise the
collation
supervise the election
for SAS polling stations.
The only thing the collation is. And of course supervise we are not to declare results from Kwakwatia. That is how best practices is. No pity what me
disputed police station here say to one any bio
mani tua say do me kobinya
yes
ye declaration, ye collation, soldier for the process for that I don't see me who be a electoral officer be ka see the two asinum na yi and no more you be electoral officer be gina and now so akasa wie am parliamentary candidate I accept now obi say me don't make up a for recollation. I mean, what are we joking? Michael Kwe, are you joking? Look, I have gone into elections and I can tell you the truth. The psychology of what they are doing. Yeah, they are come macho. Yeah, you call election. Now we are a private collation. Yes. Sometimes you don't go to the collation center. I am telling you, as a matter of fact, Obia or yeah MPP ni bia or nem yako by election bia be dia dance say baby ya be ya collation Obia be the obe say abano anko you won't see the parliamentary candidate, you won't see the executive. They just skeletal person because the contrast we are sign. Do you think Michael Kwe Jr. will win an election? Oh, no, you are winning. Oh, because that say me quite that because we be a catch me say you hear me I be friend. So no one you are winning on that. They are just deceiving the public. We must be honest. Dishonesty not does where politics move. Because so collective election and who say what lose you. They say baby a brave or what? But ain't you them? President Mahama, you know, around na or sre NDC for the say. Mr. Mwa ade ba kwa young when they say. See, about parliamentary so no big deal kunimu. They started the powder good no so. No, then the crowd for you know, sikrum. No more quack with demonstration and contribubility. About bad on the so sad in the night. It is unless the mother Munya crowd no jubilation one train. It will be a Odums were collecting at the one windy beer. Argentina. Dr. Bambia can say by 11 p.m. No my calculation who say they have lost the
presidential number lose, yes.
Well, now you ask yourself, the Electoral Commission, Muko Parliament, Eko Jessica, Sikabia Muhia Bia, Mupesa Modia election, Yan Fan Kamemo, Yademamo. 80 months me and deploy system. Amo system no so able to me move in tandem with that of the political party because NDC so by 11 o'clock then so your results out of I said 36,000 polling 37 polling stations. Now results number. Until then NDC knew that you had won the presidential. Until what was the Electoral Commission doing? I don't know. One more there with all their staff, with their IT people. Ya come money adi want me amfasa IT akume no anya dwuma ankodu ba bia won betimi aka se ya na ye so ya IT system no ye so collation say na yeti
no but you've been director of elections but when him say ECD no omuntimi nye something simple as a political party be because the processes near clear and you have to follow the process.
I know but what I'm saying is if you look at the declarations now
yes
time you wasting bebre na yentimi fa one constituency yes. Mine. In the previous election, who say actually 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, over some constituencies.
Yeah, because political party supporters besieged collation centers.
I don't believe
making it difficult for EC staff to work.
I don't believe that is the truth.
But that's what happened.
People all of a sudden, Obi Watema, or say I declare the results under duress.
Absolutely. What's report?
My friend, Honorable Sylvester Mensah.
Yes.
Any other leaders of the party.
Yes.
MPP penny for NDC penny for. Now say collation of the results at them. They sat for a very long time by some of the that man obedient to Ebejina say he's declaring the results under duress. Those people must be investigated and be dismissed. Because they are not being truthful. Some of the staff of the EC are not being truthful.
But you are gaslighting them.
They are not being truthful because Master Kodio for. Have you read Kodio report? Kodio International Observers.
Yes.
And there is a single police station collation center. Kodio deployed almost at all the collation centers. I almost say Obi Edi Etuesi Obi say under duress declare election results. I mean, people are just being dishonest, and I hate dishonesty. I hate it to the core. Nipandos were loose. But on concern, all of a sudden they are pink sheet. Baby, you pink sheet, but instead of triplicate, SSF pen was no be the pen and a day. I mean, what will be that? And all of a sudden, people want to use the Electoral Commission office in Accra to subvert the will of the people
in constituencies.
I think that we must resist it. Let's look at CI 127, what it says. The jurisdiction, what's it with me declare results. Go back to that jurisdiction. We cannot declare any constituency election results in Accra. Accra is not. We have a returning officer for the presidential. That is G. Mensa. Only one returning officer and Accra. And to declare election results for Accra. Again, you know what? Why they are facing these problems? That layer now, Electoral Commission for by regional coalitions.
Yes,
it is unnecessary.
Yeah, but no doesn't affect constituency.
Me say,
and no, for presidential.
Yeah, so that is why I don't even get it, sir. Even presidential, correct me, declare. Presidential had 3 layers, from the branch.
Yes.
To the
coalition center, region, and the national.
To the national. Yeah. And don't come to me declare.
Sure.
Now more, yeah, we know there are certain simple things that the Electoral Commission could have done. If you have a tablet for every coalition center, now what say resource no. You now agree say resource in the yes, scan results no. You send it to the coalition center at the constituency level. You know, badness will be born not your pink sheet. So couldn't you have done this important so that you do it and scan in the presence of everybody? Most sign, yes, can do, yes, can you assign it to coalition center? It would be show. That's our board not your pink sheet. At least the electoral. It is for me for the electoral commission to say, young Kasakra, you need pink sheet. You will be a pink sheet for what security was provided for the electoral officers. Again, the coalition center is one more. And I stand for correction. I am not a security expert, but if you have deployed security agencies in, let's say, 125 polling stations, and the actual boss will be, and the now march to the collation center. Why can't you do deployment, group deployment, redeployment? Say, look, obi out to Abaria, the moon now moba, near Maba Collation Center, Maba barricade Collation Center, Honor, no more to me create access. Do you think that if you have about 120 something people now, one way you deploy them to all the police centers, you may be 8 to 9. Now, the one say, after the moon now protected, now cordon off the police coalition centers near the results are intimate. And I think that the security deployment, perhaps, I think there's a need for some serious electoral reforms.
But my question was, you made a point, sir. What was happening at Tesanono? Alien to an electoral process.
Yeah. It has never happened anywhere.
Good. But when you have controversies in constituencies, to all intent and purposes, constituency returning officers, no, it be the report about say, they declared under duress, several reports all over the place. Now say East in a parties at Tennessee who say, okay, let's get a neutral place where security is assured. Tesano Police Training School. Yemra, Obia issues or Mon Famra, pink sheet in Nawaha, Yenina to Yen go through Bioni and declare. What's wrong with that?
No, what is wrong with it? Listen, a greater Accra. Greater Accra for no problem. As for regional, the region, no, every right to say, designated polling station, it's Greater Accra for no problem. And now see Greater Accra for no way, and I'm Greater for some says at the end of the Greater Accra had it. Hana Moya. All of us at the Yahuya, Adechi, Obia Bejina, Amma, Equatia, and Sasu Amma. If I tell you for something, my declare someone winning election. Free. Fantia they have declared the returning officer who is designated by law, accolated results, and declare winner. And in the year, friends, 2020, Emre Tachiman South as a petition come Electoral Commission. They were very explicit. Almost said once a returning officer not declare no pledge independence, say when we need election, no what sign no.
Yes.
Who was in court?
Yeah, when the declaration is regular, when the process is regular, and not when there are issues. Some police stations were not
passed. South, there was irregularity. In Tachiman South, there was irregularity. Yeah, Bonkofotu, even a collation center. Irregularity never no. Electoral Commission force derby. Yeah, someone you papra and free Accra and Mamet Hanum. Once the returning officer no declare the mopamon code. It is written in black and white. You have read it. You are a lawyer. You have read it. Why do you change? Why do you change the rules of the game in the middle of the game? Why are you shifting goalposts? That is where the credibility of the Electoral Commission comes in. If the Electoral Commission wants to stick to principle, not saying identity, how near they far. Why are you changing? I don't know. So be free tepa. No more original director, and now uko tepa, ne uko Ashanti region. Can they send tepa? And I have no south east to say and Konomunko. Why are they bringing it to Accra? Because uko electoral officers know why. Now can someone take a decision? Almost say there is order from above. And I tell you, one of the commissions, one of the institutions are hierarchical structure. A year Juma, a electoral commission. When somebody in electoral commissioner, a Accra, no Fred district officer, no man order no their man once one very order now would depend in you. I have moved the electoral commission for so many years. My core IPAC 17 years I was in IPAC. My core by elections are going on Navrongo Central by election, Gomois by election, Tiwa by election, Kwatia by election, Tamale Central by election. By election bien who am enquire. Massa, your castle commissioners say ya and one. And what is happening is that some of the commissioners have given some orders based on some special interest into giving some orders say man yes how they will say oh can't the electoral officer on yet because commissioner nakasa on some dream. That is how the electoral commission will be operating. And if they will stick to principles, normal they are yajuma there. And can be awake, but they are shifting the goalposts. They are shifting positions
depending on who is
affected. Oh, Momosi baby or wha, you declare my declare null and void. Baby also be a declare. I know they must say you declare the pan say on Fomunko. You see, if you blow hot and cold, you have challenges. Say baby, I do say no. I think that say electoral commission for program. Won't go for Afarijan. Afarijan, right? And go for consult na. COVID by don't Mr. Ferijan, Echo car, Krubiso, say West Indies, oh baby. In fact, the whole lockdown, no quack
training, consultancy,
and no coca honour, a man who will be before Ferijan. What prevents you from calling the good old man say, watching it, when I hear the Colossus, but never my advice. It doesn't spoil anything.
Do you,
Yanti Uganda Electoral Commission call for Nigeria Electoral Commission. I say, Omra no metre on how they organize Dr. Giagio said, oh wait, what is it?
Do you subscribe to calls to say there should be some changes to Electoral Commission?
I think that there is a need for serious electoral reforms. Number two, there's the need for the temporal officers. You form some presiding officers. You bind them legally.
Okay.
So we can now confirm right now. What they do is that they behave like in public administration. Your friend is street bureaucrats. Who marry your friend street bureaucrats? So prosini, corner directed trafficker. Who knows what traffickers?
Yes.
But I saw read that with me can say
trim.
And your friends street bureaucrats. They have certain freedom of discretion.
Yeah.
So I don't know proceeding. But we don't know who say red so but who say no traffic be sure. And some of them are behaving like street bureaucrats. So by you one obetimi use discretion, not the iron pay. But if laws are there, say if you exercise wrong discretion, these are the punishment that will be meted out to you. You were electoral officer or say wrong transfer. Or use one more a friend say system no a real system and ultimate transfer of office and regulate tamale enough near the normal call a friend say pussiga. What has happened to the person? What are the laws? If you don't bring punitive laws, in America, those who were involved in electoral fraud, they were all tried. Clinton, Trump, electoral fraud, they were all tried in several states. If you not them, it took a four people say me the presiding officer, and person may be a man, you'll be or trophy gun was some. Makwa coffee collation, Obi 238, no, 283. It is a year agent now would quit a girl. Now, Obi lose election of 2 votes. Papa be a friend. Honorable Fuzi to be late. May he so rest in peace. Dambocho constituency. I'm saying Dambocho be 2 no's at the 2000 election. Olusu by 2 votes. Mia Miria Campus Ofosu-Ampofo.
Yeah.
Tema East. Olusu by 3 votes.
3 votes, sure.
Anthony Jampo. Ojinawo Akwapim Olusu by so another slim margin. And no can tabulation obisisa 2 figures and alter the outcome of the election. People do this and then they get away with it. It's one of the electoral reforms I mean me propose.
We should bind the temporary staff.
Yes. No swear off niam bind niam fa punitive measures okonye we near hwe na your boy obedam about the people will do the right thing. And yes sir, we are setting a very bad precedent.
But for you, the top management staff of the commission, from the chairperson, deputies, non-commission members, you think they should stay?
I want to keep my quiet for now.
On that for now.
Because the fish rots from the head.
From the head.
And there's a one who soon it I think a word to the wise
is enough.
It's enough. And you know, the system, it is systems that are operating. And what are the systems? What systems have we put in place? What checks and balances have we put in place? I don't think for the first time we have to bury we see that. There's controversy where the district in the way people are holding pink sheets. Are you different from the Electoral Commission pink sheet? Why did they do the printing? But who is being held responsible
for Sanya, man?
And then President Mahama said something, and then I saw for the share and said, if this is what is going to happen there, and the local printers, why are they actually be a Mojuma Bebomo? Then people will resort to go and do printing of ballot materials in a highly securitized
foreign
countries. Normally they are bad because all of a sudden people are able to know the Electoral Commission validation stamp, the color. But what I do know, they say, Sadem is kept among the top echelon of the Electoral Commission. Say, I can't the chia you better, but maybe your people say, you the blue color bekoha, you the yellow bekoha, you the brown bekoha, you the red bekoha. Now, yes, I know for your check the low dwegu materials now.
Yes.
People knew what colors was going to be used in various regions because we saw fake ballots. Sample watch. What you understand? Now, who say electoral process? And to me, Mama, there, I think that the Electoral Commission should go back to the law. Where there is the need for them to go back to the constituencies. But be a pink sheet, Electoral Commission for nan kasa say the original one that you could ta and then they authenticated results now they should annul those polling stations and go and run because otherwise nobody will accept the result because why we say we Electoral Commission who pink sheet now original who how can you declare the results?
And you are saying, for example, I get you. I think it's a reasonable.
And then go back and look at the number of polling stations. Now what declare the fatuo. And
rerun.
Go and rerun
outstanding ones.
Whatever will come out, come and finish your
I think one
do the collation in the district.
And
find mankind.
One such classic example here, Ekosiisen Central. I think the bone of contention was.
I don't want to mention constituencies, but I want to make a general.
No, I get you.
Because mention constituency, then you are going to create a let's avoid mentioning the constituency. General discussion about what we think the way forward should be like.
I think one constituency, what came up, and they said, there were disputes on about 31 polling stations, and the argument was made, said, in the electoral laws, they will say easy to me enya more than 75% of polling stations ready. They can collate those and declare without the ones outstanding.
You can only declare when you look at the total registered voters in those polling stations.
Outstanding ones, no.
No one never declare. No one difference. What win and no say you can't win. You know, boom, no man you can declare. But where it can alter the outcome, you cannot declare.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's the bone of contention in the constituency I mentioned.
No, that should be it. If you know, when I say 14 polling stations, you know, they are winning. I mean, when Dr. Bamia came and said, or say, look. You declare results, but you know, you're the cunning now, boom. Electoral Commission also say you can be 9 constituencies for presidential.
Yeah,
but you can't even there the chat
second
now. It be offsetting the outcome. So you can declare, but you cannot declare when it can.
When it can have an impact. Wow. 43 minutes after 4, Mene Dr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, or a former national chairman of the NDC.
For the purposes of this election, I'm also a member of the National Steering Committee of the NDC 2024 campaign team. National Steering Committee of the NDC 2024 campaign team. And you also had a special role with the running mate, right? Yes.
On an hour campaign. Good. Into deputy spokesperson for the running mate campaign, or say Obi. In fact, the office of the vice president elect appreciates his effort in joining our campaign team. Honestly speaking, the chairman is an astute politician and his energy was immense. Eric Ejay and Odiwe about to you, Dr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. We say, Obi, this was the petition from the candidate in Tepa. In the apparently Tepa Nsono, that's Ahafuano North constituency. The candidate of the NPP, the petition Kokoma Electoral Commission, and I'm said they would have to look into a hodieno ABO, and the person sent the petition to us here. We say, Obi, so the media PR has started for John Mahama already. We should now start managing our expectations, right? Didn't we say JM has been president before, so he knows what he's promising? Didn't he know he only had 4 years to do all the things he was promising? Didn't the NDC know that students will be going to school in January when they promised free tuition for tertiary students? We have no time for excuses, senior. And we shall also assess you in the media with the same measure you gave to the previous administration. That's the only way we can grow as a nation. Starsky, Ewa, New York. Obi, with the greatest of respect, tell Honorable Ofosu-Ampofo to slow down, because we have been here before, and President Mahama has been on this same seat before, and we all saw what happened. So I'm urging him to be measured, because the real test is yet to commence, and we, the Ghanaian people, would be here to observe. Charles Kwating, Ewa, Adenta, and on the way Abre. Yes.
Make sure say can't anything differently.
Yes.
Because I say that we are humbled by the mandate. The mandate
I Ghana for the Amamo.
Even more of a challenge to us, say we live up to the expectations
of the Ghanaian people.
Until we are not taking this mandate for granted. But let me also supply another information. So polling station near Tuabawi near Boswa.
Yes.
Who opportunity for a recount?
A recount, yes, at the polling station. Yes.
In fact, even two. So, your first recount not the same now. Also on Tiasia. Presiding member.
There was discretion to say so on kind.
But once I challenge, I was say or call Collation Center.
Okay.
Not a homoco abuse now. Okay. So that there will be a superior officer there. Because now he's being a judge in his own court.
Sure.
Etino, so one call for recount. You have no business going to say Collation Center for recount. But once in America,
I get you. I get you. The law is clear. I mean, even in the CI 127, no, even at the Collation Center, the law is that the district returning officer, no, Nejuma is to assemble polling station results and declare, except say a candidate protested for a recount of a ballot. In the ballot box should be specific ballot box or qualify, and that ballot box will be recounted. And
the word recollection,
yes,
a new lexicon, there's a new terminology in the electoral lexicon. They used to say, you know. When we are introducing things and we are trying to create confusion, you see, it's unnecessary. They should go back to their constituencies. Did you see what happened in Damongo? And not table na paper be done and some people not kind so one kind and also me declare Damongo constituency results. At the table ke to about 100 truths in the beginning in China. Also I declared Damongo constituency.
Na nipa ben
I returning officer now. He's not a returning. I think he declared it at the regional office. Onya returning officer. Returning officer ni ho. Untimi fa na dwuma nye. Baby your so baby there yakofa deputy returning officer. There is no position called deputy returning officer. You did to me a man that say unknown declare results. The returning officer no, and power near the man that say undeclare the results. Into Obia team by silent was a deputy returning officer. No, I could declare. Now say, Makomo being to say, Mama. I think that things are not being done well. Now, the president shall not corner from Juno. So, Electoral Commission, if they have put their acts together a little, because most of the areas, a delay, no.
But the delay, no, there is a reason for the delay. And no, you are not addressing the reason for the delays. Because how you EC returning officer, our district, work district collation center. Now, party supporters to me both Collation Center, Osha Techiman Saudi, the trio, ye pink sheet, the team, any idea. How do you work?
I don't want to support violence in any form of
shape. Yes.
But if you look at what happened in 2020,
yes.
I am addressing those issues. I was always saying, when we are addressing the 2020, when we are addressing the 2020, because Obiako, look, win them, so you also. Yabuba Banusu in NDC and winning. I can one ballot box. That ballot box determines who wins the parliament. Yes, you no be a jump provocative. Yes, you into the ballot box we see careful. Near their EC office near Kokai. Can could do EC office. Can it could do
ballot box now?
Because of one ballot box, you court 4 years. They couldn't change
the verdict.
Now people also feel say court no kwa, and then justice now konya. It didn't make us say, look, until we fix institutional malaise, until we fix institutional challenges, I'm going for building confidence
in the process.
I mean, people went to court. Yeah, registration time. We be challenge registration process near there. Oh, yeah. Now I see Chief Justice at Tukwai. Well, to Kwanya, we are who bet me at Yasamno. And now you're there, assembly, your shadow assembly, a bit, not registration either. So, yes, sir, then people begin to question, say, can we have trust and confidence
in our institutions?
All what I'm asking for and pleading, say, as Ghanaians, saying, you can't come near require, but first one, you bet me, I build strong institutions. Near confidence in those institutions, and those institutions will be able to deliver the necessary output now. Say no, Mamua, then you have a bigger problem even in 2028. Because you cannot
now
human behavior. You see, politics here now. Politics here. One of the theory underline politics here now. The rational choice theory. Rationality. So people take action based upon rational calculations. It's your trust now, or the 2 and 2 tomorrow say a few way call say where you say that we may fuck with one. So based on rationality, then let me use this approach. Let us, after this whole process, sit down and look at the whole electoral process. Maybe they say electoral violence back. Hey,
we should begin punishing people.
If you send people to court, now open court, judge it, and go for me both court who could you free one. Now judge no life yet threatened. Now obia nyehwe bibia nsi yam yesi o obi kra to me down radio say me come kwa e be fine won come kwa matua e de amon o we for nsa
na wa hwe wo de
intimide yam adom medin chine kakra matena guru mu ache. Some of us can foresee things from afar. You are advising Krofo. Say, you are not careful. We are destroying our democracy. And the Electoral Commission ought to be circumspect the way they are dealing. Because already going into this election, there is a lot of suspicion,
mistrust
about this electoral. Can we trust this Electoral Commission to deliver? And to me, I'm first say, like a presidential year, like a window say, about this area, then you can score them some
high marks.
What can I say? So will be a statement. Will be a statement. You know, can say it is finished. I am not saying.
Sir, it is finished. Sir,
result
will be declared.
It is finished. Oh, the view. Presidential. No declare you. That can I.
Say.
That can I.
But at least we declare me your president.
It is finished 9 because I just said, "Could me 9 now." I said, "It is finished." Matthias, but he said, "Yeah." People are putting all sorts of interpretation to it is finished.
It is finished. Where's the Obi? Ask Dr. Ampofo. Didn't President Mahama commission and cut sword on December 2016? Even after elections, he was still cutting sword for hospitals to be built. Isa Foseini, was second D, Takrade, and
there is nothing wrong with that. Nana Akufo-Addo has now to 7 for you.
Absolutely.
So Nana Akufo-Addo project BIA or say, or Mekai say. University of Environment and Sustainable Development.
So many.
President Mahama
sure.
After he lost the election.
Sure.
Friend Kumasi Airport. Okokate sword.
And I think the sword was cut 2 days before election. And 2 days before election.
So Nana Akufo-Addo and Omaisha Dr. Bome also Omaisha. Still Dr. Bome, chairman of the police council.
Yes.
Insecurity be a cause one day. They have every opportunity. Say, Bibi will honor a unfinished agenda. A part of the process. Nothing prevents him from doing it.
Very well. Obi, the person who declared the election result at Damongo is the regional director of EC in Savannah region, who was given express authority by the EC to step in the shoes of the Damongo returning officer to declare the result. The Damongo returning officer was then battling for his life at the hospital after sustaining gunshot wounds at the constituency Collation center during the raid by the NDC alleged thugs. Idi Muhayuddin Esquire.
It's a simple question. You know how collations and declarations are done. Who party be our who NDC who MPP
who regional director
me say the coalition obiya ni ho or tidan kitwa bi no or declare. We don't declare results like that. The results are declared in the presence of Nipana. The agents and call for her. But you cannot be in one small room with a policeman and say we declare results. It is not done anywhere. It is wrong. What he did is wrong. It's against the law. That is why the NDC people are saying, "Ye nim baby okote they declare results mo. Ye nim baby a okonya and figures fee. Ye de nim say collation na ye Damongo no. Ye nyansi ye. And obi okote office be so when declare results." These are matters that borders on national security because election can bring volatility, especially in some part of the country. You need to be very careful. When passions, and I want to thank God, say at least in Upper East and then Northeast, now, we're sitting on the edge, the rest of it, I think Savannah is a very peaceful, largely peaceful region. They should be able to resolve these problems.
Well, so Obi, interesting conversation with Elder Dr. Ofosu-Ampofo. He really distinguished himself as one of the former party executives who really gave his all for the NDC's 2024 campaign. I've enjoyed the insight shared with facts and figures. JT Ewo Ningo Pram and Odiwe Brain. Obi, tell Honorable Ofosu-Ampofo that he should not be the one to talk about bad roads in the Volta region as a former chairman, especially where Volta region is the World Bank of the NDC. Okay, we are Fanny and I think his name is Ken. Ken, thank you for your message. Let me see the other messages we have here. So Obi, please ask him, was he the one who brought the rule win at your polling station when he was the chairman from 102 to 137 constituencies? At the time, Amunya, say 2020, you were the chairman. Okay. It win at your polling station.
That time, I say about why no polling station should be our focus. Until adopt a branch and adopt a constituency.
Okay.
You see. Make all rounds during your prime. Do you know that we have some branch secretaries who are lawyers? We have some branch executives who are doctors. We have some executives who are professors and doctors. A friend say, Trobo say Amasama Hobabi, one of the lawyers. Oh, yeah, branch secretary. Branch secretary. It's a number of lawyers, sir. You could share lawyers, no, a friend say, Aqua Safari, no.
Yes.
Constituency executives, no. You have no idea. And again, we started it in 2020 and we improve upon it in 2024 by deploying lawyers throughout the whole country. All the 275 all the 16 regional collation centers as astute lawyers.
As they monitors, Anna.
They were there as part of the NDC collation team.
Okay.
Sunday by yeah, the president Mama can say, look, you're passing about Supreme Court. There are some other legal issues.
We deal with it.
You're shaping them through training. They did a lot of training. I want to doff my hat off for the election directorate. A lot of training was done. They were deployed. Some of them even went to even 1 week ahead of time to acclimatize with the situation.
With area,
and then so you see, it didn't happen just like that. And now, of course, this was an election. Like I say, NDC adopted the multi-system approach to electioneering campaign. I would say. I took your counsel, Samadi.
Yes,
and
Samadi.
Adopted multi-system approach to coast football. Sure. NDC adopted the multi-system approach
to the campaign.
Look, the number of people who work across the boots on the ground, you have no idea. Everywhere was covered. And it was not concentrated. The chairman was moving in one direction.
Yes.
The running mate moving in one direction. The flag bearer in one direction. The youth organizer, fantastic job. They did a lot of job. And the students, team photo, the Green Army, and the women were all over the place. When people could be former appointees were moving, former DCs, former ministers were moving, former chief executive officers will be afraid to be on the number.
Or grounds here.
That I saw a former attorney general Marita Brun in the team. No just say it's like Obia Soro say, I mean, constituency be. Selflessness.
But then, are you then pained when you hear the analysis? When you drill down into numbers now, what the NDC added from number in 2020, a little above 100,000 votes, and on the count 2020 figure now, and one will say, so that is the result of work.
So you see, politics is about incrementality.
Okay.
You build upon what you have.
Okay.
Do you know the number of people who died between 2020 to 2024?
And 2024.
How can we say the same number? Obi, we 4 years. So you cannot just simplify it and look at the face of the figure. You see, there are facts behind figures. It's when we see figures, interrogate the figures and look at the facts behind it. Me, I can also say that it is because of the vigilance of the NDC at the polling stations, a lot of rigging and multiple votes in there. They couldn't do it.
In the actual number.
And again, if you have a party like MPP, go into an election in Ashanti region and they say they won 87%. What was the calculation about?
Almost 85.
85. What is the calculation? Go back into history, that check whether they have even crossed 80%. The BR and this team at least 22%, 23%, 24%, 26%, 27%. And then these were making incremental gains.
Yes.
It is all but all of a sudden we need basis. We are not saying we get 85%. Why did you get the 85% from? You are deluding yourself. Me can sometimes be a campaign with Ashanti region. Yes, you pay 1 million votes to Ashanti region. You could now a regional rally be we buy also 1 million. Okay, my review to 1.5 million. I said, what is the basis? I would move from 1 million to 1.5 million to be win. What is the basis? Oh, me say elections are driven by scientific approach, and people must be scientific in nature.
If you don't agree, say, based on the result, MPP for an army twaba, you don't agree.
First, there is voter party. There was voter party.
Okay.
Because ocean numbers now in terms of total voter turnout, let's say, across. But you cannot say MPP for
an army twaba. Very well. Honorable Ampofo is very deep. Obi from Inkoya K. Ena Odiwebe thank you. This one says, Obi, please tell Dr. Ampofo that fried yam at Paradise Rest Stop is very expensive, so he should do something about it. Nickels from Dawina. But you know there's that narrative out there.
Obi, this is a bit of Paradise and Yamadia, Patrol, or the corner address your issue to the management. I don't have anything to do with Paradise. Me, I'm drew on us a provider. I actually am a Yaka. Oh, God.
Where's the Obi? You know, most of the NDC manifesto promises are lies, but you kept quiet and didn't ask all these questions. So don't be the NDC spokesperson and give excuse to them. You are not part of their team. Where's the Obi? Please tell Chairman Ampofo that has he not seen how his party thugs brought cutlasses to collation centers and threatened EC officials to declare for NDC pieces by force, or they will chop off their heads? They burned and destroyed Pink Sheet. All these tags are NDC, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think your point is made. Obi, please ask Bra Sami Photo, now Dr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, when was Mr. Domelevo appointed as Auditor General? I'm watching you live from Birmingham in the United Kingdom. Where's Obi? Dr. Ofosu-Ampofo is back with the mischief and propaganda because the NDC has won an election. Where was he when JDM went into opposition? If I were in his shoes, I would be hiding because he sent the party to opposition. Did he? Okay.
Let me address this issue because I think that people are just being misinformed. Okay. When I came as chairman in 2018. December 2018, we have barely 2 years to go into an election. Your party now call election, a lose by over 1 million votes.
Close to 1 million votes.
Your vote swatted by, I think we lost about 53 seats in parliament.
Yeah.
Under my leadership, together with my team. Yeah, Bomodi said, yeah, 137. When MPP were in power, in your hand parliament.
Yeah.
Under my leadership, for the first time, we got an opposition person becoming Speaker of Parliament.
Oh, you were chairman at the time?
Yes, I was chairman at the time.
Oh, okay.
Under my leadership, NDC moved our votes by 2 million extra votes. In your 4 point something in 2016, in your 6 point something.
6.2.
So you don't know what you are talking about.
Yeah.
So if there is anything at all, I can say, Juma, no. I have built a very strong foundation. And I just have foundation. Because you want to see that guy doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
And even in COVID period, when the campaign was so difficult, resources were difficult, even collation systems to import them from other countries, you couldn't even import them.
Yeah.
The software, pieces, are they also here because of COVID. We face
major challenges,
doubting challenges.
Yeah.
But look at the records and see what NDC did under my leadership as a chairman. So I can't go and hide. I can walk with my chest up and say, I ran my lap of the race very, very well and handed over. And then whoever took over has finished off very well. Now say your course really now we are. Now say your day, and no back for the man. We give it to the quartet now. One more runners race, And I don't feel sad at all. And again, it has also come clearly say, contrary to speculation, say, and they been your time maybe control election results. People have now come to realize that there is no way you can sell in the election.
Yeah.
Election in the now and I said national because election results are declared at the polling station. They come to the collation center and they are collected. Me as national chairman, mini polling station. About collation center, from collation center it is transmitted directly to the strong room during the previous and also no, I'm not the person at the strong room. High partner obey me in between this system because me kwa na okoto no. Okoto ma hai. Na ha na ekutu ya oka. Because at that time, everybody is anxious, working to win an election. You know, say about to say people will come out with all sorts of speculation.
Narratives, yeah.
Very
well.
I have served this party very well. Me can say from the branch, and I'm through branch organizer to national chairman. If you want to see somebody who has committed his whole life, do you know that I did multiple surgeries and I wasn't even supposed to be doing the kind of things that I was doing.
Yeah.
But I was driven by passion.
To step out there and campaign.
And the desire to see NDC winning. And, I mean, bringing the smiles back and ensuring that President Mahama na dream pa any near ma went to me and no obet me about baby. Those are the things that drove me. Me drew baby. I remember I go somewhere. Professor Nanaji in front say, Chairman Mahun said, wouldn't be for steps. Me drew baby a first step because my recover, but okay steps now. You need side we need race I so much. Number into the be just for every so no them or I not say no.
And you were still going around the country?
I went around the country everywhere. And Juma me there and children come for no. Which young my no Juma. And I'm happy that my brother Eric who is a communication
deputy spokesperson
is telling because they saw it. But my main focus is more communication for Abaso. I think that they did something right because NDC Achilles Hills in the Kosibocho report
was communication in government.
Okay, both communication in government and in party because at the end of the day, no, even if you are unable to communicate your strategy and your things very well, and also our media relations.
Yeah.
Say we were not too friendly
with the
media. But you develop a very symbiotic relationship with the media. You ensure the new media houses be pro NDC. But I think that the media houses open their doors because of the previously there were skirmishes. And I think that Sami Jemfini especially when I go to Central Region a few days before the election, I'm going Edujita Makro and lawyer Chumbari Mano and also how you deploy all over the country. The lawyers, the astute communicators, and so move to all the other regions and all the major radio stations. And I want to doff my hat for the communication team. Opia Yenejuma. Now, you know what? I will say something as a political analyst. MPP for free consultancy.
Yes.
In the year 2000, NDC lost the 2000 election because of Reform Party. Largely, and yet the main, but largely because when Reform Party broke away, some of our core cadres, they were virtually the more or less the intellectuals wing and so they didn't garner a lot of votes, but they were able to convince people then this is not the option to go. I'm saying they see as so. Look at the last election, the Alan factor. You will discount it by looking out.
So only 30,000 votes in T.
Nominal
figures.
But check on the various discussion platforms. Check the quality of debate and the intelligence
analysis
and communication prowess that was exhibited by the
movement for change for
intimacy. If you want who have also won the election, it is movement for change.
Sir.
Now what was it? What does it stand for? What we didn't say?
Movement for change.
What happened at the end of this election?
There was change.
So who has won?
The movement has won. Change now, no penaba.
Yes. Yes. So you see,
You're saying that MPP in sign share a honey view.
What I'm saying is that I'm just trying to do a general look. Analysis. I'm not doing this analysis as a pro NDC person.
Yes.
I'm doing it as a political analyst.
Okay.
And a political strategist. And so sometimes we try to highlight certain things.
Yeah.
That should be a wake-up call. Not for only NDC, MPP, but NDC. Yes, let's find a way of dealing with it. Do you know that I think after the elections, your first review, some group of cadres also decided to organize
I remember.
A counter.
There was a statement to that. I remember.
It was the organization was taking place at the same time we're going to do the review. And most of the senior members,
I think
senior members who had been invited for the national review, were also going to be. Do you know how those problems were resolved? It took leadership. It took leadership. You must not always be belligerent. You must not always be saying, you must always say, some of us didn't sleep. We knocked doors. We spoke with senior members of the party. We pleaded with them. We told them to look at the bigger picture. And they listened. And so if you see NDC today, look at the beautiful things that we did. When I became a chairman, the campaign manager of John Dramani Mahama, I picked from somebody who contested John Mahama for the flag bearership. People didn't understand it. But at the end of the day, he was repeated again.
As the campaign
look at the
chairman
results.
Again,
In the strategic decisions, sometimes difficult, stand by them. They'll give you results. Inti baby I do there. I'm say, I do na baby I can say me buy some consultancy am the buy say maybe no sign check dollars we na me dey ko. We are ready to put the accumulated knowledge and experience that we have had at the disposal of Ghana. Because if democracy is the order of the day there, and I met the political science department, the dean, Professor Alidu. And I'm busy and say, I'm a political science department. One elections management, one campaign technique. Meanwhile, at the heart of democracy is elections. So you churn out political science. Obia no akwa political science also. Makusuya election management, campaign techniques, and I'm deploying it to go and help the political party. Political science. Political science department. I have urged them, say, one of the things we should do now is to introduce a course
on elections management, campaign strategy,
and campaign, so that the political parties, one more they can rely on the university. Say, from students, develop strategic plan, develop campaign message, develop GOTV method, develop. There are tools. In fact, even volunteering, time-tested principle. The snowflake principle. Obama used snowflake principle. It worked well for them. In America, a lot of political parties have adopted the snowflake principle of volunteerism. And and when you do that, you don't get it wrong because they are time-tested. And that is why I am happy for Musa Dankwa. So Musa Dankwa should strengthen his institution. Now on bringing on more people, more enumerators, not on training more people, so that pulling now a year very critical. Now, when say a year for election, investors when they are going to invest their money, they want to look into the future. And say, analyze. Now I say Ghana. In the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, what would the political climate look like? So the investor was our party more. And all those people, they need, in fact, a bit more stability. Into so establish a bank and a financial institution be or we say how stable is the political environment? How durable is the electoral system? Ochebe enkofa Civil War madam Misika me beko mo enwenya de enko say. They look at all these things. Inti baby do you know people like Mr. Danko and others must be applauded for the kind of work that they have done. They must be encouraged as institutions because a drew baby other institutions in America say no and Musa Danko and enko no very rich because data don't collecting in iska. Data analysis you pay for it and then they give it to you. It's a money making business. And I encourage other people. I, for instance, have decided to say, look, one of the things that I want to do is that knowledge of manual election management. I didn't. I don't know. So mean to me, young person. And this was party school. Party school. I was teaching election campaign and management.
Okay.
There are so many people. I say, you bow class. You could do assembly election. You will need. You bow class. You could not primary. You will. And techniques. There are tools that you have to apply. Scientific. Time tested. Wait me there. First, no. Number 4 said, Ghana for yanka no kore intino yanka no kore nche posters. Inti ebi oni paro hena de Land Cruiser besi ho a ohwe say akwa odo fi abam inti questions obi same no. My man no questions na answers are end there not there. But when I met Musa Dankwa na or me methodology ni ade say because with proper methodology obetimi be said the same question in another way. Not the answer as well alicity answer every chair. We try and throw how maybe be second question.
Yeah.
And the validity at the end of and they will be I friend I'm sorry reflexology in you say you take your human part out of it, your interest out of it. When you take your interest out of it. So I was listening to Smart Sapon. He's my small boy. Professor is my small boy. When I say he's my small boy, he knows that he's my small boy. You want me to DC you Fantel and know you're a student of a gross secondary school.
Oh, okay.
When I say he's my small boy,
in that context,
I give him all the respect because I think he's one of the guys who have worked very hard to be where he is. Judging from Babia, Ufi, now Odia Kodu Babia. I'm always proud of him, but I thought to say, Namitie the submissions near Debia, and I say, okay. So what do we can say? Why now we call 275 constituencies now? And then now we survey, we are wrong. Because we got radio so as a communicator. People know the direction of our communication. It will balance me, Professor Smart upon a million here. Me Ofosu-Ampofo, me research. Me declare, say, questions be a me bisa, me corner me ankasa me kubisa, me nya answer. Nti we say, o fa enumerators and I say one bit administer question no na one mama a specify kra say assume si we say but say adwuma ye oye dey say nti no oye nti no me hu say oye NDC former chairman nti no obisa question about vigilantism and also obisa question about politics and bibia obema na answer say nti you do all those things and you build it into the methodology so that obenya a strong methodology the outcome no who validate here obetumi say that's true ma mankind these 3-4 messages na for fan common in we have to speak to the majority leader in Ghana's parliament MP for a future constituency and the parliament equasita me can say na come for akunya no emisi parliament adin for ba omumani mi de kram no mfantum so say also one transfer a taboo a spiritual it impact omufan cheno ha akunya no de omufan cheno panisho afejo ha me ka cha akunya ma plead man dey say omufan akunya no ehun nya no
but
enya fasia no mame
and
my daughter is child no mame
yeah reporters can say and there was no controversy in parliament NPP team no kwatna right and NDC team no etna left into the majority and the minority order has been
say asomofie
na okamenya dabre yeah we say Obi indeed chairman wasn't well. I met him in Cape Coast, yet he was active in the campaign. God bless him. Extend my greetings to him. Lawyer Chum Berima and on the way about Lawyer Chum Berima yadase papa. This one says good evening Obi. When it comes to Dr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, he has all the leadership skills and he executed them well during his tenure. What I love about him is the fact that he recognizes everyone's work work and dedication and can mention your name after meeting you once at any gathering. He draws people close to him. He's very accessible. God bless him for the NDC and for Ghana. We free Annan Perry. Annan Perry, one of the social media guys of the NDC. We say, Obi, the truth is that lawyers sympathetic to the NDC were on the field during this election. Okay, this is from lawyer Miezamia Alia, and or the NDC branch chairman. In Crawford in the Elembe.
Yeah, Elembe. He's also one of the boys that I try to counsel. He's a very intelligent guy.
Wow.
What branch one?
Yeah, branch chairman.
Branch chairman. He's intellectual.
Yeah.
I mean, I can contest if you am a seat.
Oh, okay.
And so you can then imagine how people accept and say one beji push. Because that is where the election is won.
Sure. Sir Prince Ayensuano says, will be fantastic submission from my boss, Dr. Ofosu-Ampofo. He's one of the hardworking members of our party. Sir Prince or Ayensuano, thank you. Lots and lots of messages. I mean, people are happy with Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. Ma yenshena yenfan komono NC. But now my final question. We are chimney, right?
My chemistry and also my papa yachim.
Our papa yachim. Okay.
Me
enum should be a crapim.
More or less enumboso.
Enumboso.
A sojaman.
Oh, okay. Okay, a sojaman.
But no one so no best to watch him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Me offer credit him watch him. No me did. Na me papa half a cropon, half chippy. Until me chemistry no mixed.
But at least for Eastern region. There's no doubt about that.
Eastern region. Because school was a man kesi.
Okay.
Because secondary education over Kwetia.
Okay.
Me try de okukrentum me. Me started primary e wo Chebi. Me be ya adwuma e wo Begro. Me free home be ya Eastern Regional Deputy Minister. Me san be Eastern Regional Minister.
Okay.
Me ma menum kwotena ma mpanyum kwotena from place itina from place ase no mu ne ade so no. Oh,
okay.
No, so me unim me title de mama. E from Odimafo ne title me traditional area
wow.
Enti ofa achoda matna ho kakra babia o Eastern
region. Oh, just Eastern true and true. 100% Eastern.
Babia me and me worry so free.
The current president is also from the Eastern region. And then all the back kind and now the down quack.
I can say I'm why. I'm wasting for just said Nana, you know the truth of the matter is that my expectation of Nana was very high when Nana assumed the presidency.
Yes.
Because me and Nana for the number parliament the same day.
Oh, okay. In 96.
96. And we're not done the best. Fantia kwa ni enchemu.
Okay.
Me fantia kwa na south and north ni na ebom na begroya hinkru.
And on so
ye begroya benkum division.
Okay.
Of
acheme buakwa.
And na me anso no bososo. And na metna ya ne begro ha na metna ya sana me ko St. Paul ko kwantumi akwacha de ne ade na enti me be ye MP no na chese me ne na aboshe enti some of the developmental projects no cry was say eba empasuo du bebe te say adaso asese na watiwa on here electricity kura no sata na ohene kan na ye minister for energy me na me de komo oba eye me am papa no chebia sikam enom ne chebia du krum no ne ade a omo here light na akufo ado ye MP but me na me ko push agenda na me de light you know we have worked together. I mean we are na you know about parliament sa ni ade you know na me feel say expectations no he would have been the president we never had. But he has now become the president
we wish we never had.
We wish we never had. Because I think that was the party. No?
Correct. Nanado.
I said the party.
Was say MPP.
Was say MPP. No? But do you know, sir, Professor Paul Boateng was very philosophical.
Yes.
Says how about you know? The party MPP no, the ballot paper no so.
Hey.
What is answer no? It was profound and philosophical. And read from Dr. Atta Kennedy. and listen to Dr. Nyahu Tamakro. These are people who praise the trail MMPP perform. Look, I spoke with a very senior member of the MPP. We have been in the trenches together. Now, my friend, I'm sad about the outcome of this election for you people. They have a long way to go. They are missing this if you want to say. Ajumadin and this are power ya brain. Ajumadin so at the Yadimisa was here. The first and foremost thing they say, Prime Ben, a bit me for so bois, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Nana Mamu, Aye, Nagana, Aye, Ghana fan into my proper friend. The biggest joy that I can get is to look at all the indicators, economic indicators, social indicators, and all the other things. Let me who say they are moving in the
right direction.
Then me who say no. But I have a strong conviction in the ability of John Dramani Mahama, his desire, his passion, his determination to succeed. Me you sure say Nyame bebuano. Nyame no de na ba be do baby we do. That God will give him what it takes. But I call on all Ghanaians. Say we are confronted with hydra-headed challenges. No hydra-headed challenges. See, I can say the politics in one best over. We will not be able to make it. We must demonstrate a little sense of nationalism. And President Mahama recommended Apostle Eric Kwabena organize a forum biwo,
the National Development Conference,
and now push say nationalism, patriotism, the sense of the nationhood, and yet the overriding and overtaking factor I bet drive leaders into various positions of trust. No, they must put Ghana first. Maybe I make us say, "Oh, the Christos bomb." But there are people who amass almost everything I can once a week, and maybe a baby omo dakara no woman to sorry now. This has can almost spend it. Why can't we think about Ghanaians? Why do we keep monies under our bed when Ghanaians are suffering? Oh, Obi, I've been reflecting the past 3-4 days about this whole fertilizer business. Why should fertilizer be in the rooms of MMDCs in their homes when the lands are lying fallow and crops are not doing well? Cocoa production is going down because we can't fertilize the land. Fertilizer is moving from one DC one way. I don't know about what ever say MPP for crab your home say and change your man into your cop. Near called G. I could boon your man near Kofa. And this for now provided protection. They must also look at it say, oh, don't somebody compare point to be a show. If you are doing genuinely say, may come to protect it, the national asset. It's a very good thing that you should do. You know, taxpayers' money, but you're very careful. Say, or Chinabino, young confess appropriate be and say you did, then say party needing. Let's do it. Let's do it with some decorum. Let's not say change of government about our political opponents are enemies. Let us not say tit for tat. All the and baby attribute the baby it will be a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Can we see ourselves as Ghanaians and put Ghana first and focus on developing and making sure that the public good, I didn't feel public good should be our watchword and guiding BBI. Into that's so was or a bompire. God factor, you Yadan Kramofuase, Yada all fit, I say, Yada Mabu Obia Ghana for Yadomas, all professional groups in Yadomas. The time for work is now. And I believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the picture we try,
yes,
all the year campaign.
White now.
Who's one the sleeves?
Yes.
Do you understand it? He's ready for day one. Sir, at a day now, one row sleeves no. How I say no is to show you the meaning. I'll convey. They say I have rolled my sleeves
to hit the ground running from day one.
And I believe that we are going to see a John Mahama who hit the ground.
Some have said the real test for your party is who succeeds John Dramani Mahama.
It is too early.
You think so?
Too early. You see, we have challenges facing us. And the earlier we focus on this challenge,
yes.
You see, we need to govern well. If we govern well and we satisfy Ghanaians, they will reward him for what we have done. But if we put the cart before the horse, near their personal interest, as against the interest of the nation, near parochial interest, that's the intimate and deliver on our promises to Ghanaians. Ghanaians will reject the president. We can say, President Mama can say, I buy a debo techino.
Yeah, the bebo ban.
You're very careful.
Yeah, but you are yes, you see, you've won power to form government. But the political party NDC must still run. And that political party should have a flag bearer in the next elections. And there is timelines for our contest.
The political party must form a government.
Sure.
The party begat government.
Yes.
You form a government. Why should we go to talk about secession?
But now people trying to time and about secession. 2026 for elections would have to start.
For me,
yes.
The first thing is that President Mahama must have it right by getting the right people
in place
to deliver. The rest, the chips will fall
where they have
at
to.
The rightful place when that time comes. You see, these things are not difficult at all. You must understand the science of it. Let's hit the grounds running. No results no bar.
The rest will
Those things will fall in their rightful places. And you must know that Providence has a role to play in this.
Sure, it's true.
So people must be very careful and listen to themselves before they move. Well, Providence has a role to play in this.
Yeah.
And NDC is a big party. We know how to elect leaders. When that time comes, nobody teaches NDC how to elect leaders. That is why me call election. I'm saying, I don't know what they will for one. I'm saying, now me call you to mom and me go for. Me call you to mom and me uncle Kasa. It's a me call you to mom. What that by fair or foul means? Just accept it because you don't know tomorrow.
Sure.
You see, and then you now contribute to your quota. Obi and yam voice or baby. And so bossy a twab and we now can't distraction no this semicocasaya
distraction.
There'll be a lot of noise in the system, and you have to deal with those noise before. But I decided, I said, let's create the congenial atmosphere. Let the momentum go on. Now, you'll be able to be on your non famwa. Ubia yana from there. And want to commend and congratulate.
But as national chairman, you certainly had some unfinished business, Meboa.
Oh, those business have been completed. In fact, more interview me, I can say the only unfinished business I had was to see NDC winning the election.
I remember.
And that unfinished business has been accomplished by my successor. I think that I'm fulfilled.
And is there for national chairman? They also
I'm fulfilled.
So now maybe you have to move a step further.
I am fulfilled. And I want to see John Mahama succeed.
But you have to move a step further. Very important. Chairman, Mamena say, you best actually didn't come over.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
For the sacrifice and the toils.
Thank you.
And again, let me commend every Akatamansonian.
Yes.
That the spirit of the party is back. Again, in getting people in places, let's use the rightful channel, especially the say party this year appointment. Because it is the most localized appointment which can make or break a party at the constituency and the district level. I believe that we have very experienced people in the party who have managed these things over the years. And I think that all of us can help.
What has just dropped? I'm picturing you time away press conference to say the NDC will not support the election of DCs on partisan lines. I remember that press conference so well. When you're doing Sakra. Oh, how? As part of constitutional reforms, that thing should happen.
I still believe that election of DCs is the right thing to do.
Yes.
But not on partisan lines.
Oh. But that's hypocritical.
It's not hypocritical.
How can we do that?
There are several countries in this world that they do mayoral elections.
Yes, I know.
Without partisanship.
But ours,
I have told you, and I said I have gone through the system, and I can tell you, say, the only thing that is holding Ghana together is the non-partisan district assembly.
Really?
Yes.
Is it non-partisan?
Yes.
What we have at the district assembly?
Yes.
Really honorable.
Because you have not gone there to see, say, the core assembly, no NDC 40 binkum, MPP 46.
But everybody knows NDC assembly members, MPP assembly members.
If we make the mistake of
politicizing
local government, we are finished.
That debate will continue. But I said, you still stand by that position?
I stand by my position. Sir,
Very
look,
well.
let us go and do election of DCEs on non-partisan basis, so that they will be accountable to the people, but not on partisan line. If we politicize our local government system, this country is doomed.
Chairman Medase, Yemre Neko, Yabesina Tuan Common, so Ekosiisen.